This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
U.S. crude oil stockpiles last week fell more sharply than expected as refining output rose and exports surged, the Energy Information Administration said on Wednesday. Crude inventories fell by 8 million barrels in the week to April 30 to 485.1 million barrels, compared with analysts' expectations in a Reuters poll for a 2.3 million barrel drop. Net U.S. crude imports fell by 2.8 million barrels per day, the EIA said. That move was largely due to a surge in exports to 4.1 million barrels of oil per day, their highest since March 2020, from 2.5 million barrels of oil per day the previous week. Refiners continued to boost production as the summer driving season approaches in the United States.
Oil prices drifted lower on Wednesday after 2 days of gains despite U.S. crude stocks falling more sharply than expected, as traders used the weekly inventory figures as an excuse to pull back from the recent rally. Both Brent and U.S. futures contracts hit their highest levels since mid-March in intraday trade before retreating. The $70 per barrel mark has acted as a barrier for the market since March, with investors unwilling to push oil higher as coronavirus infections surge in parts of the world. Brent crude was down 5 cents to $68.83 a barrel at 1:18 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time, 17:18 GMT. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude CLC1 lost 26 cents to $65.45 a barrel.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Top oil exporter Saudi Arabia has cut the June official selling prices, OSPs, of all crude grades it sells to Asia, two sources with knowledge of the matter said on Wednesday. It set the June OSP for the flagship Arab light crude at $1.70 a barrel above the Oman-Dubai average for Asia, down 10 cents from May and its first price cut since December last year, the sources said. Saudi Arabia set its Arab light OSP to Northwest Europe at a discount of $2.90 per barrel against ICE Brent for June, compared with a discount to $2.40 for May, according to a document seen by Reuters.
Militants using bombs attacked 2 oil wells at an oil field close to the northern Iraqi city of Kirkuk on Wednesday, killing at least 1 policeman and setting off fires, the oil ministry said. Industry sources said the attack had not affected production. A statement from the oil ministry did not comment on production. The statement said one of the fires, at well 177 at the Bai Hassan oil field, had been put out and emergency teams were working to halt a second at well 183. Next, we have the top news in metal market. Brazil's iron ore export revenues are set to surge 60% this year and displace soybeans as the country's #1 source of foreign exchange earnings for the first time in 6 years, Brazil's Foreign Trade Association, AEB, said on Tuesday. The forecast $41.25 billion revenue, together with potential record soybean export volumes, means Brazil is on track to post an overall trade surplus this year of almost $80 billion, AEB chief executive José Augusto de Castro told Reuters. The new AEB forecasts followed surging prices and strong demand from China. Most of Brazil's iron ore exports are from mining giant Vale.
Copper hit a fresh 10-year high on Wednesday as some of the world's largest economies showed signs of recovery from the COVID-19 impact, boosting expectations of increased demand. Benchmark 3-month copper on the London Metal Exchange (LME) touched $10,040 a ton, its highest since February 2011 when the contract hit a record of $10,190 a ton. But by 15:17 GMT, copper was trading 0.4% lower at $9,922 a ton.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
Ukrainian grain exports have fallen by 24% to almost 39 million tons so far in the July 2020 to June 2021 season, Agriculture Ministry data showed on Wednesday. The exports included 15.13 million tons of wheat, 19.14 million tons of corn and 4.12 million tons of barley, the data showed. traders have used around 86.5% of the total wheat export quota of 17.5 million tons imposed for the whole 2020-21 July to June season.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.